Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Welcome to another crusty recording of
The company lot. If you're new to the channel, 'cause, I'm back on the tube, starting to back on the tube. Do crackheads say that? Do former buys say that? I'm back on the tube steak. I'm back on the tube. I'm posting regularly, and so we're getting some new viewers here. So I just want to let you know, Fridays are for podcasting on this channel. Every other Friday is a podcast. To be honest, I think you guys, longtime watchers, love you, appreciate you. I think you hate the chair. I think you hate the SpongeBob chair. That is what I'm gleaning. I'm sticking to the SpongeBob chair. I love it. It's my favorite place to be. If you're wondering where I am, I'm in the beautiful St. Louis, Missouri right now. You might hear the sounds of the lovely Mississippi River just cutting up through the air. Just the soft, wisping white caps of that beautiful Mississippi River. You can hear crack pipes and loose trash and aluminum just colliding together just to create a soft sound of... I'm currently watching a man take a piss. He's facing his penis towards me. He's waving now. I'm going to wave back. Hey, what's up, sir? How you doing? Yep. I'm at the lovely Hilton Garden Suites on the Mississippi River down here in St. Louis, Missouri. And the receptionist, I mean, what a guy. What a guy. He's about 6'8". We had a conversation, just a brief conversation about, do you keep it? Hair, do you keep it? And as a former bald, as someone who's been to Turkey, I told him, bro, go over there. Go over there, You might look like Pinhead or Razorhead, whoever it is, for a couple months. Your head is going to look like, that's the thing about the Turkey surgery is when you get back, you can actually just... if you bend forward, a blind person can just read the top of your head. They start feeling the bumps and they go, "Oh, you want then you got hair plugs," and you go, "Yeah," because that's the only thing in Braille. They teach you, they teach you how to read the world, but there's actually a page now in modern Braille teachings that it's just a page of dots, and it's like if you run across this. This is a person who went to Turkey, and sometimes this pattern is rounded. So, that is so stupid. I've been debating doing one of these live. I've honestly debated doing them every Friday live. Because I don't know. Talking by myself gets a little bit absurd for me. I feel insane doing this, and I kind of want to know what you guys are, what you're looking for in real time. So, yeah, I've been debating doing these live, but you can let me know. Also, when you do these alone, you have an insane sense of the word I do it a lot. I stutter a lot, lots of gaps in my words, and I'm trying to nail it, because that's not good entertainment. It's not. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, clearly a lot happening in the world. I hope you're all staying safe. Plenty to be nihilist about, and plenty of jokes on Twitter about everything going on. And I don't know. I think I weirdly get this thing where I want to be funny, but then I feel like I'm being flippant about it. And I guess maybe that's my fault for trying to have empathy or something. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that personally, but I hope you're all good. Hope you're all staying safe, and we're gonna try to smile through the pain a little bit. This is a hell of a segue. I cannot stop thinking about that billionaire who died from swallowing a bee. I've been what is that movie with Nick Cage? The Wicker Man. It was like a remake, right? Wicker Man. Did I get that right? The Wicker Man. Yeah, isn't that all about bees? Isn't that all about bees? It's entirely about bees. They at the end they take Nick Cage and they lock him in a giant burning bee thing. It's literally, it's made of wicker. It's a Burning Man installation, and they lock him in there and they kill him. That movie, for some reason, it was so silly, but that movie fucked me up personally because I couldn't watch it as Nick Cage's character dying slow. I saw it as Nick Cage dying, and that made me sad. When I watched Nick Cage die in Wicker Man, I realized how much I like Nick Cage as a person. I didn't want him to die. I was crying when I watched it. I was 20 years old, but I was crying when I was watching it, and I said, please don't kill Nicholas. Please leave baby Nicholas alone. This auto parts billionaire, and I looked it up. It's not. It wasn't even his money. They describe him as this billionaire. It was his dad's money. That's crazy. That's crazy that your dad can do something, and then you just get it. I know we talk about Nepo babies and stuff culturally, but I think one of those oil tycoons, I think he did this thing where he left nothing to his kids. And I remember in high school, people thinking that was cruel. And I thought that was badass. I thought that was a classic boomer move. Here's the thing. I think if you're a billionaire, it's fine to pull the ladder up on your kids. If you want to redistribute it all back to society and pull the ladder up on your kids, I think that's okay. Burning hot take. Burning hot take. I think Nepo baby should have it harder. You're really getting the heat here, folks. Nah, but yeah, that guy died swallowing a bee, and he's not the first. I was reading briefly about some Brazilian cyclists who swallowed bees on a ride. I didn't realize bees could be so lethal. I know if they sting you, you could die, but I've also been thinking, because you ever got a fly in your mouth? That's happened to me before. I've never met anyone that's got two flies in their mouth. Two is you're enjoying it, Two is really you want to savor it. Because if you keep a fly in long enough that a second one could join it, I think you want to keep them at that point. Yeah, but I've never met anyone that's got two flies in their mouth. Bee in the mouth from a cyclist, I get, because those guys move pretty quick, and you might net one with your mouth. I understand that. And their feet are locked into the bike, so escaping the bee from the mouth is a tough go. But this dude was just playing polo, which I guess is on a horse, so you're doing the same thing. You're moving at speed, and it flew in his mouth. But yeah, I don't, I'm realizing that the greatest threat whenever a bee has come around me is not it stinging me, it's me talking. Now when a bee flies around, ever since I've read that story, I just shut it up. I just lock it up. I just try to move away. I think one of the funniest replies I saw is he should have stayed a millionaire. There wouldn't be any bee in there. Genius. Hilarious. Hats off to the boy. I should have got the Twitter handle, but alas, I made a mistake. These are just soft Friday musings from a shitty television. That's what you're getting today. By the way, thanks everyone who came out to the shows. I did 4 in Chicago, 4 in Wisconsin, all the way out there in Brookfield. Thank you all for pulling up. I had a great time. Saturday early in Wisconsin, I think you guys wanted to go to church instead, but you chose me, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah, I didn't do too much. I thought I'd get up to some cultural moments in the Midwest. The most cultural thing I got up to was slamming down some custard in that hot sun. I get it now. I get why the Midwest has, specifically Milwaukee, has 800. If you don't know this guy, Summerfest, they do like 800 concerts over 14 days. And it's just celebrating the fact that they're not inside from the cold anymore. It's a little glimpse into the future. The people of Milwaukee and Chicago and all, even down south here in St. Louis, you experience the seasons, and you're well and prepared for the future that's to come. I see why some, parents and uncles don't believe in global warming or don't care about it, because they're like, well, I've been shoveling snow for like 20 years and you're telling me it's going to get hotter. Thank God, Heat this bitch up. Let's heat it up faster. Yeah. Billionaire Bee, dude. It's on my mind because I've been around a lot of critters lately. I've just been venturing out. I'm trying to get the last of the hikes in now that all public land is for sale. I assume a lot of you know about this big, beautiful bill. If you don't, a lot of public land went up for sale for $5 billion, I think, which is chump change. That's nada. That's nothing, dude. That is nothing. If you've ever been on a hike through a national park and thought to yourself, man, it'd be so great if there was a Pinkberry, a Chipotle, and a Best Buy vending machine here. Well, it's going to become a reality. In 5 years, guys, you won't have the hikes anymore. We don't need them. We'll just do them virtually. There's a lot of people arguing about the sale of public land, and some people are saying, it's always been owned by the government, and it being owned by the private sector could be a good thing. And to those people, I say, historically, when the private sector gets its hands on something, it's sometimes good, but it seems it goes a bad way. Statistically, it seems like it goes not great in the end. That's a riveting history lesson for all of us here, is capitalism can lead to a bad place. I'm being a bit tongue-in-cheek here, but the land is going to be sold over the next 5 years. I was getting the number of acres. It is 250 million acres of public land. Now, supposedly the land can't be used for housing, but it can be used for large-scale housing. So again, if you've ever wanted a mixed-use complex at the base of your favorite hike in Yosemite, and what's really funny about this is, shout out to Chad and JT. They joked about doing this, and now we're going to get it. So clearly Chad and JT influence policy by way of their comedy. Now, I'm not going to lie, a condo in Yosemite would be kind of sick. I can't deny having a condo in a national park would be pretty fire. Will that be good in the end? I don't know. I don't know. I can't predict the future. I think when it'll go bad is when they build all these condos and they let people live in them for 2 years, and then they convert them all to timeshares. And then inevitably, we're back to square one. It is going to be fun, though, seeing every public park go SimCity. Selfishly, I hope this means a go-kart track in every national park. Yeah. I've been having deeper thoughts. I'm gonna put those at the end because that's not good entertainment. I could argue that the first 15 minutes of this is questionable entertainment. But, Fridays are for podcasting, and podcasting sometimes is just sparse musings and sparse, how would you say that? I don't know. I can't find the words. I'm speechless by my own musings. That's what I'm trying to say. Shout out to Justin Bieber, man. He's in a tough spot right now. Yeah, everyone's getting him for. I'm sure you saw the clip. We're all pretty online here, but if you haven't, Jay Bieb's going. Is it not clocking to you that I'm standing on business? And he's yelling at a paparazzi, and he's saying, you're harassing me. I'm a father, I'm at the beach, and I understand that rage. And honestly, I think everyone's giving him a lot of grief, and that just shows that he's done well as a father to stay relevant. He's done a really good job with his public image that people forget that he's a dad. And so as a new dad, I got to defend Jay. This ain't Big J. This is Lil J. Lil J Biebs. We're not talking about Big J in the sky. Hey, everybody, want to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Shopify. Shopify could be the catalyst for turning a business dream into a reality. If you have a great idea or have been waiting to finally pull the trigger and start your own business, Shopify will be your best friend. It can be super overwhelming to create a website, a logo, upload all your content by yourself, which is why Shopify makes it easy for you to get started. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the United States. From household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. Shopify is there every step of the way, from letting you choose from their website templates to helping you find your customers with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. Between their AI tools and 24/7 customer support, you have everything you need to succeed. Turn those dreams into sales and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/companylot. Go to shopify.com/companylot. Shopify.com/companylot. Hey guys, we want to take a quick break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, Goodr. It's about to be summer, which means it's the perfect time to stock up on a couple of new pairs of sunglasses. Goodr has all the styles you need, starting at only $25 a pair. With their 1-year warranty and 30-day free returns, you can't go wrong. Me, when do I wear my Goodr sunnies? Very often. I like to exercise when I'm touring. And just generally, I like going out when I'm on the road. I like exploring new places. So I'm always traveling with a pair of my Goodr glasses. But even when I'm not on the road, I'm rocking them at home. When I'm driving around in my big old truck as well. Boy, do they keep my eyes shielded. Goodr sunglasses are 100% polarized and have a no-slip, no-bounce structure, so they'll stay on your face through all your summer activities. So if you're a running person, an outdoorsy person, a hiking person, a mountain biking person, all this stuff is something that a pair of Goodr sunglasses is great for. If you need a new pair of sunnies, Goodr is giving Company Lot listeners free shipping. You can go to goodr.com/lot and use code LOT for free shipping. Goodr offers a 30-day money-back guarantee and 100% satisfaction. Again, that is goodr.com/lot. Use code LOT for free shipping. I am a J, dude. Periodically, not frequently, but I gotta defend Justin Bieber because he's a father, and I think as a dad, naturally you're spending time with the kids, so you're gonna be a little out of touch. You're gonna be a little bit distant from what's in pop culture. Sometimes you're not always gonna be on it, and I think as a father, he's well within his right to just fuck that up, to just completely fuck it up. Okay. If you picture that sentence coming out of a 45-year-old man, was it not clocking you that I'm standing on business? Now it's endearing, and we forget that Justin psychologically is 600 years old. I mean, the media has made Justin Bieber schizophrenic, if we're being honest. Because I'll put it like this. Sometimes I get high and I see stuff in my phone, and I will jokingly but 10% seriously entertain the thought, like, I started to like have these intentional delusions where I look at my phone and I see someone, just an odd character on TikTok, and I just think the government made this guy. I'll think the government trained this guy to do this. Yeah. Some intelligence agency is trying to sneak in here and they created this guy. I like to think that sometimes on TikToks that have, 15 likes. But, people get bent out of shape about a nasty comment here and there, or maybe I'm projecting a little bit. Maybe not everyone, but sometimes I get a nasty comment and it gets me a little fired up. And so for Justin to be kind of watched and monitored and filmed and recorded like his entire life, I mean, he's done a good job not going full tilt. I think what TMZ does is that can only make a performer go insane. If you feel like everything you do, every time you step out, you're filmed and tracked and watched. So I think Justin is well within his right to fuck up. Is it not clocking to you that I'm standing on business? And I think he's well within his right to be upset. I feel it's amazing that Justin hasn't done worse, given the treatment he's had since a child. So Justin, it's clocking to me that you're standing on business. Continue to stand on it, man. I'll continue to clock it. I'm gonna clock it in your honor, Jay. I'm gonna clock your business, man. I'm gonna clock your stands. All right, I'm gonna clock that you're standing on it. Shout out to JB's, man. I feel all he did, he didn't even do anything that bad. Everyone's on his ass. I don't think it's right. To be fair to Justin, I'll be a bit vulnerable here. I feel like Justin, he is doing the human thing. I've done this, and I don't mean to be crass, but hey, it's Friday. We're 20 minutes in, and now I just know it's the real one sticking around. You hear those beautiful birds? This is the St. Louis, what do they call it? St. Louis sparrow. They're a unique type of sparrow. They have mohawks, short. They have short mohawks, and they have contact lenses. A lot of people think they're fake. They're real. They wear contact lenses, and some of them are even tagged with nose rings. It's a scientific nose ring. It has a tracking device in it, and they keep track of all these beautiful St. Louis sparrows. Anyhow, give Bieber a break, man. Give Bieber a break for standing on his business. Something else I've been chuckling at is I don't know if you guys saw this clip. We'll just run it in the background, but I guess it's a club in San Francisco. It's like clearly a college thing, and in order to get in the club, you have to do elevator pitches. 30-second elevator pitch to get into the party. They're making you do LinkedIn in person. Now, I'm not going to comment on this like I'm there or I'm part of this culture, but on Twitter, I've been reading a lot about San Francisco tech culture as of late. It seems really horny. A bunch of people having orgies and stuff and requiring that your net worth be a couple bill. You basically have to be able to buy all the public land to get a date in San Francisco, and they just kind of live in a like a 99.999999 Simoleon universe. Now, what I will say is this. I think the first instinct is to laugh at these people putting on a club where you got to do elevator pitches. And I think that's correct. I think that's well and right. We should be laughing at these people. You shouldn't be taking what is otherwise supposed to be a social interaction and trying to list credentials to get in there. So that's a bad precedent. Because guys like that, those were the dudes that would be in line and never get in the club. You know what I'm saying? maybe not always, but there inevitably, there'd be someone talking about, don't you know my dad? Don't you know who I am? We've all heard something to that tune. We've heard the amorphous "Don't you know who I am?" And we've all seen a guy like that get booted from a public space. And I don't think we should be encouraging youth to actively go, "Do you know who I am? Let me tell you about it." We shouldn't encourage youth to be doing LinkedIn posts to bouncers. It's just not healthy. At a time where we need humanity, this is not encouraging of it. I feel we gotta maybe, because young people aren't going out anymore, or maybe you guys are going out, but they say you're not drinking. And maybe we need to start creating public spaces like clubs. But in order to get in the club, maybe we need to take it like all the way corny 90s. And you got to be able to, you almost got to like audition to get into the club. You got to be able to do some kind of sick dance move or some type of weird party trick. You got to bring back party tricks. Something you can perform. Swallowing fire, breakdancing, raving. I think we give ravers a lot of grief, but I almost think we should put them back in clubs. We should put a guy with glow sticks back in the club. Because I think silliness is what we need right now. I think we need a guy so confident that he rolls up in there and he's like, "This is cringe," and I fuck with it. And he just, with the glow sticks. I wonder if any of you have seen on TikTok, this guy, I don't want to put his username up because, I don't want people going and fucking with him, but he like advises and reviews techniques for gloving. At a rave where someone puts little lights on their fingertips and he encourages how to do that. And he does classes. He does Zoom sessions with people where they go, "How do I get better with the gloves?" And they're essentially like Michael Jackson gloves with glowing tips. And I think on the flip side of doing elevator pitches, or actually maybe in the vein of doing elevator pitches to get in the club, I think maybe we need a guy like that installed in the club. I think this guy, Grant Cardone does a ton of classes telling people how to sell. I think we got to blow this guy up and get him encouraging more people to do stuff with glowing tipped gloves. I think we need to bring back more cringe shit in just public spaces again. Because that's a lot of what the early internet was. It was people who didn't know they were being filmed and they were doing weird shit. But then we ate those people up. We burned them all down. So now we don't really get them anymore. We only have like intentional cringe. We gotta raise a cringe generation. That's what we gotta do. Next wave of people, we gotta keep them off the phones and teach them how to do goofy stuff. Unicycles, stilts, literally bring back circus stuff. Juggling, all that. Not for the camera. We need people that do things for the love of the game again. I feel like that's what we need. Socially. We need more guys that could do magic tricks. We're at the back half here, so maybe I get into the deeper thoughts. Actually, maybe not. I don't need to bring the mood down. This will bring the mood up. Did y'all catch Mr. Beast and Mariah Carey's music video? The director is like a famous music video director from the 90s, I believe. Hold on, let me look up his name again. But Mr. Beast looks like AI in the video. They're trying to sexualize him. And this is, I don't know what number attempt this is to sexualize Mr. Beast, but they're starting to have a handful, because he got buff, and they're continuing to push the cart forward. They're trying to move the needle on sexualizing Mr. Beast. Joseph Kahn is the director. I believe, I want to say he's directed a lot of music videos in like the 2000s. Something that's jumping out at me is I believe he did the music video for Bling Bling. If you're a millennial listening to this, yeah, he did. Let's see. I'm just looking up his IMDb. He's directed some Jamiroquai, some Kelly Clarkson. He directed Without Me for Eminem. If there's any Eminem fans listening to this, I don't think there are many listening to this. He directed the Thong Song. Okay, that's a classic music video. Say My Name by Destiny's Child. So this guy has a very decorated resume in sexualizing a random dude on camera. Because a lot of the early 2000s music videos, when the singer is some type of pop star lady, they always got a random dude, standing against a wall or in a coffee shop. And you could tell he tried to apply his veteran techniques to Mr. Beast, this AI-looking version of Mr. Beast. I don't know if it really worked. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if it really worked, man. Because it just looked like Mr. Beast in a bulletproof vest with like makeup. Did you get what I'm saying? When someone they try to sexualize somebody, they give them, but it just looks like they're wearing those things. It doesn't look like it's part of them. That's kind of the uncanny vibe you got from Mr. Beast. But, this is going to open the door because now we'll start to see Mr. Beast in, K-pop music videos, and he's going to become an international sex icon. Okay, this is just the first step, right? They're just breaking the door open to sexualize him. And his never-ending quest to be everywhere. It's going to be nasty work when Mr. Beast tries to turn sex icon once his audience ages up. It's going to be weird. And it's going to happen. It is going to happen. Give it 5 years. Actually, he's probably going to be one of the ones, mark my words. Next year or two, a Mr. Beast video is going to be, the U.S. government put up Red Rocks for sale in Utah, and I bought it. And now we're hosting the 4th annual Beast Games like you've never seen before. We starved 100 people for 90 days before cutting them loose into Red Rock. Where is Red Rocks? That shit is in Denver. Why did I say Utah? It was in Morrison, technically. It's in Colorado. Mr. Beast is going to buy... he's going to buy all of Colorado, is what I'm saying. And he's going to create the... what's crazy is some of this public land, Mr. Beast is looking at it going, hey, man, it's not that expensive. I could do that. Because he already bought that whole town or whatever in North Carolina. So now he's going to ship all of them to a national park. Just know, guys, if you ever made me a billionaire, I would do good things with the national park. I'd buy it. I wouldn't do too much to it. I would install, one of those, and this is a testament to my character. Those like little downhill, I don't even know what you call them. There's just tons of clips of people going on vacation where they race these like, they're almost like a single bobsled with handlebars, and people post a ton of clips like going on vacation of them just like running straight into walls But like they slide on concrete. I would install one of those in a national park. It'd be the longest downhill race ever. It'd be free because that would just be me trying to spread the good spirit of competitive driving. So just know that that's the type of shit I'd be doing with $1 billion. Hey everyone, we want to take a final break to thank a sponsor of today's episode, DraftKings. Spring is in full bloom and new offers and promos are sprouting up daily on DraftKings Casino. Right now, new players can play $5 on anything and get 350 casino spins instantly on a featured slot game. Download the app and sign up with the code COMPANY. Take the featured slot for a spin and explore thousands of others in the DraftKings game library. Check back daily to claim the hottest offers and promos on DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus. Physically present in Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Connecticut and Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins valid for featured game only and expire in 168 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends June 15, 2025, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, we're at the very end here, so I think I'll get into maybe the deeper thoughts. I'm having this weird, and this is like such a fucking bummer talking point. I may even regret putting this out here, but fuck it. I'm finding it harder and harder to be when I used to stream, I just say whatever to the camera. I just say whatever I was feeling. I would just like wear it on my sleeve. And now I'm having a harder time doing that. It's really weird. Anyways, I started having this like thought, and this is not some big brain conspiracy thing, but it's just a general thought. I started wondering if, and I meant to Google this. I'll Google it now. But, nihilism as cope. Because, you guys know I can be a bit nihilist at times. And here, let's Google AI. Nihilism, the belief that life is inherently meaningless, can be used as a coping mechanism to deal with difficult emotions. Yeah. So, I don't know. I've been observing within myself, and maybe this is helpful to some of you. Not that I'm here to fucking give life advice, all right? Because I kind of wince at that. People trying to tell you how to live, because very, very few of us have it mapped out. I think, some of us have gotten lucky, but life is complex. Anyway, I think I've been observing in myself like this reverting to nihilism to escape the deeper stuff. And I don't know if that's good, if I could just put it simple. I don't know if allowing nihilism to creep in and kind of just landing on, well, nothing matters anyway. I don't know if that's good for you. Because I think it ignores maybe feelings that are important to you and maybe stuff that you want to tackle, right? I think I frame it in the way of things you want to accomplish. Maybe you revert to nihilism because it feels better to, discredit your goals and then you don't have to pursue them because, whatever. Or, even certain degrees of empathy. You get nihilist because you're like, oh, fuck, what does this mean? And, a lot of what we consume, I think, can motivate you to be nihilist easily. It's definitely happened to me. But yeah, I've just kind of personally arrived at this conclusion that I don't know if that's just healthy for anyone. So I've been trying to combat that a little bit. And maybe I just throw that out to you to I don't know. Don't ignore your feelings, gang. You can be nihilist about some stuff, but I don't know if it's good if it's just taking up your every thought. Or rather, it just kind of comes in at full force to help you escape and cope, because maybe you're not tackling the things that are actually important to you. Yeah. And I think I weirdly have been reflecting a lot on like how much nihilism has crept in my entire life. And honestly, it kind of upsets me. I think nihilism prevented me from certain life experiences that I could have done with earlier on in life, you know? Nothing crazy, but if I put it in a simple way, you know, it's really funny. It's funny that I could gather this from such a new hobby. But basically, you know, I've really taken up with pool, and I'm getting deeper in on pool and starting to like read, just kind of tap in on like pool sharks and the world of pool gambling and some of these like historic billiard spots. That one very historic spot near where I live was in Bellflower. It was shut down a few years ago, but I was like reading about the history of the place, and I was playing pool, and you know, while I was on tour, it was hard for me to enjoy playing pool at times because I'm thinking about my family, I'm thinking about my son, and I weirdly have this like, I had this weird regret that I discovered it at this point in life. You know, when there was a time where my time was more free, maybe a bit more wasted, just being like nihilist in the house. Granted, you know, didn't have a ton of money, but so, you know, some of the hobbies and stuff I like now, you know, back then I think I would have been deterred from it because, you know, I just didn't want to spend any money. But you know, I look at this hobby and I'm like, damn, kind of wish I just would have got out into the world a little bit more so I could have explored this sooner. And so, you know, I know it's like a weird like small thing to trigger this reflection of like nihilism, but it's the truth. I think there's just simple aspects of life that I'm discovering where I go, man, if I just got out the house and I didn't allow the depression to creep in, you know, it's not that any of these things would have healed me or made me feel better about mostly everything, but you know, who knows? At least I'd be discovering hobbies, you know, and yeah, it's like a tough thing where I have this weird like back and forth where I play pool and I almost don't want to be playing pool, and I get like bothered that I like it so much because granted, you know, I'm on the road and I can't be with my family, but you know, it's like an odd thing that has happened to me as a father. So I think now, I think the good thing about it is, as my son is yelling at me through the glass right now, I got to wrap it up in a second. But I think the biggest thing that this has taught me is I don't want to let nihilism creep in with my son. And to the best of my ability, you know, I don't want him to get wrapped up in nothing matters. And it's okay to, you know, take your interests and take your feelings seriously because it'll motivate you to be out in the world. And I guess I'd just hand that to you, you know, if you're feeling a bit nihilist or defeated by things, I would say, try to fire up, you know, and just know that maybe some of these things you're being nihilist about, they're important to you. And, you know, it's that whole thing where not pursuing something is more comfortable than going after it. So, you know, that's kind of what all this centers around, is really just getting out into the world and just experiencing new things. I always get this weird feeling because I'll go to these great pool halls and these great billiard spots, and they'll lead me to like interesting places to eat and just like little pockets of different cities. And I look at these places that I think are fairly innocuous, but in ways I feel, you know, oh man, this is just kind of like right under my nose this whole time. And, you know, I don't have to go all the way to Wisconsin for this feeling, but I'm sure there's plenty out there that I could have explored that I didn't give a chance. So, yeah, get out there, try stuff, man. I think I'm saying all this because hobbies are good. I think they're hard to have in this, I don't know, maybe not for everybody. I'm kind of rambling at this point, and I apologize. I don't even know if any of this shit makes sense, but yeah, my framing on all this really is just around hobbies and just getting out and seeing life. Because I've been feeling a greater sense of drive and degrees of happiness from things that are fairly innocuous, you know? I joke a lot about getting out to the Midwest and eating a cup of custard, but weirdly, it's just like, that is something I look forward to. This is like a little thing like that. And, you know, it's just that fucking adage, you know, it's the little things. And part of me feels a bit robbed that most of my life, I think it was just the little things that could have helped me along the way. It was never anything crazy. So yeah, I say that to you from the lovely city of St. Louis, Missouri. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to this crusty episode of The Company Lot. I hope you have a wonderful evening or day or whenever you're listening to this, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.